Hey, friends! Your old pal Barkey Dog back with another movie review. This time it's a comedy from the greatest era, the 1980s. This one sports a really good cast and an interesting premise. That's right, we're talking about Used Cars from 1980. Now, one of my viewers, David, he sent me a flock of stuff off of my wish list, including this here Blu-ray. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It's amazing, but I don't think I've ever seen this one, so it was a real treat. One of the things he sent me, I'm saving for Halloween. Yeah, you know which one, David. I'm saving that one. Now this here Blu-ray's great. It's got a lot of extras and stuff. So how about it? Is Used Cars a lemon or what? Let's get into it. Our story goes like this. There are two car dealerships right across the street from one another. Each is owned by one of the Fuchs brothers, two old men who have feuded for years. One, the bad brother, is more successful, and the good brother has a lot full of run-down lemons. The bad brother wants to get rid of the good brother and take over. Now, a new interstate is coming in, and it will go right through the bad brother's lot, giving him more impetus to crush his rival and get that space instead, because it'll be really lucrative. Our hero is a fast-talking car salesman who works for the good brother, but his methods are anything but good. He's been desperate to make sales because he wants to become a politician and clean up by getting dirty. Unfortunately, the good brother has a bad heart, and the bad brother connives to give him a heart attack. Kurt and his friends now have to hide the fact that the good brother is dead until Kurt can get enough money for his campaign. This leads to a lot of fun as the guys cook up crazy advertising schemes and sales pitches and do all they can to thwart the bad brother. Meanwhile, the good brother's daughter is coming back after 15 years to make amends with her dad, and it turns out she's a sexy chick. Well, naturally, Kurt goes gaga for her. Will the bad brother win the day? Will Kurt find true love and give up his crooked ways? And what of President Carter? In our cast, we have Kurt Russell as our hero. We last saw him not too long ago in my review of 1975's Search for the Gods. Used Cars was an important role for him. He was finally shaking off the kid image he got after making so many movies for Disney. And here, not only does he get to play an unscrupulous car salesman, but we see him doing these legit stunts as well. All of the shots from the side or a distance, that was a stuntman, but these face-on shots with Kurt jumping on moving cars, that was really him, man. You won't see anyone outside of Tom Cruise doing that kind of thing these days. Jack Warden kills it, playing not one, but two characters, the Fuchs brothers. Gotta be seen to be believed. An incredible job by this actor. We have Joe Flaherty from SCTV. We last saw him in my review of the Cannonball Run series. He's here as a corrupt district attorney in cahoots with the bad brother. Former NFL player Frank McRae is the mechanic for the good guys. He's fun in this movie, quite a character. Gerrit Graham plays another car dealer for the good guys. I loved him in this. He's had a long career and appears in a lot of TV shows, cartoons, and movies, like The Critic, that was great, Child's Play 2, and The Creature Wasn't Nice. He was also in Cannonball, one of the movies I covered in that video. Since this film was directed by Robert Zemeckis, we have several familiar faces from movies he made later on. For example, we have Marty McFly's sister from Back to the Future, Wendy Jo Sperber, who plays a student driver. Mark McClure, Marty McFly's brother, and also Jimmy Olsen in Superman and Superman 2, he's here. Love interest Deborah Harmon plays the daughter of the good car dealer. She briefly pops up in Back to the Future as the news anchor reporting on the plutonium theft. Grandpa Munster, Al Lewis, plays a hanging judge, a fun role he makes the most of. And we have the comedy duo of Michael McKean and David L. Lander, Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley. Terrence Knox, he's here, and he's arguably most famous for his role as Sergeant Anderson on the TV series Tour of Duty. Boy, that was a great show. If you look fast, you'll spot Tiny Wells, another familiar face. He usually played heavy bikers, truck drivers, rednecks, and whatnot. He was also in an episode from one of my favorites back in the day, Otherworld. Remember that? Perennial character actor Dick Miller is also in this, and Cheryl Rickson, a Penthouse Pet of the Month, she appears in more ways than one. And we even have Dub Taylor. What a cast, am I right? Used Cars was originally an idea by John Milius, who had tapped Steven Spielberg to direct, but they were too busy with other things, so Bob Gale and his writing partner took it on with Milius and Spielberg producing. To get the script to seem realistic, Gale went to real car dealers and got the lowdown on all of the dirty tricks they'd do to sell clunkers to the unsuspecting customers. They also got stories of real-life interactions they could use in the movie. For the big car run in the last act, the filmmakers advertised for college students to bring along their cars, and they could be in a movie. Most cars college kids owned were already junkers, so that worked out. The filmmakers also cooked up several innovative ways to market the movie, which is shown in the extras on the Blu-ray. The film got raves at an advanced preview, prompting studio executives at Columbia to push up the release date. Unfortunately, that was a big mistake. Why? Because it put Used Cars up against another comedy movie, a behemoth called Airplane. The success of that movie swamped Used Cars at the theater, and it never got its due on the big screen. However, later on, cable TV came to the rescue, and Used Cars got a whole new life on the small screen, cementing its place as a true comedy classic. One thing in this movie is when the good guys hijack the president's speech in order to advertise their dealership. They do this by wrecking cars across the street at the Bad Brothers lot by blasting them with a shotgun because the prices are too high. Now, many moons ago, I happened to be in Texas, and I saw this ad on TV for Steakley Chevrolet. Pretty sure it was Steakley. I've never forgot it. Now I see where they got the idea from. This salesman was dressed up the same way as Gerrit Graham here, would look at a car and say, "The price is too high. Bring it down, Slim." Whereupon they would cut to a close-up of the car's window and blasted it with a shotgun. Obviously using a stunt car for that, not the real one. But it was hilarious. And you see that done in this film because that's where the idea came from. It's a real hoot. Kurt Russell is so good in this. Jack Warden is amazing in his dual role as the Fuchs brothers, two completely different people. A masterclass in crafting characters. The movie is a fun, laugh-out-loud romp with a great cast and some great stunts sprinkled in for good measure. Used Cars is easily worth 3.5 paws up. Definitely worth checking out. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.